Hey everybody, welcome back to the Suikoden walkthrough. We are going to start out with a little bit of recruitment. I'm not sure exactly how much I did here, but we're going to at least start at the northern checkpoint. The character that you have to recruit, you have to approach the northern checkpoint from the north and travel south. Otherwise, the dialogue doesn't pop up. So here's Max and Sancho. And here, Max is just a little bit late. Obviously, based on the dialogue, you actually have to complete all of the Moravia castle stuff, I guess, or storyline to recruit Max and Sancho. If I remember right, they take part in they have a charge attack in the major battles, but I don't remember if you can use either of those in battle or not. Something's telling me that you can't. Which is, whatever. That's fine. Not that big of a deal. It's not as if we don't have enough people to use in regular battles anyway. But, alright, let's take a look, see what else I decided to do here before moving on. I'm guessing Kryn and Kasumi are going to be kicked from the party fairly soon. I don't recommend using those two. I didn't care for either of them much in the game, so, and thus they didn't last. They kind of were just around for the required battles and not much else. Kasumi, however, does return in Suikoden 2, and I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but there's actually quite a few. I want to say it's something like 16. Again, don't quote me because I don't remember the exact number, but there's something like 16 characters that return in Suikoden 2, and you have an option to load basically your data from this one. And in doing so, makes it so that you can actually recruit McDowell in Suikoden 2, as well as gives you quite a few. I guess I should say that the characters that return in Suikoden 2 are kind of like beefed up a bit. They get bonuses to their levels and whatnot. So. Humphrey's one of them. Flick is one of them. Victor is one of them. Kasumi, like I said earlier. I know Pesmerga makes it back. Tengar and Hicks. And there's quite a few more. I'm not exactly sure on all of them. There's plenty of lists out there on the internet if you want to. If you're planning on beefing up said characters. For the next game. As far as the items, so some of the characters when you transfer them over, they'll transfer with items to a certain extent. Humphrey comes to mind in that if you have him equipped with a windspun armor. In this game, when you use that data to start your Suikoden 2 game, he will start with windspun armor in the in Suikoden 2. So again, and there's some items that don't transfer over and whatnot. So and again, there's plenty of information out there on the internet if that's something that you plan on doing and want to I don't know. Get the most out of that, I don't know, I guess you could say like crossover system. So, yeah, again, go ahead and check that out if that's something that you want to do. So we obviously were going to attack Shahrazad, I think is how you say that. Castle. They're the floating castle. I guess maybe I'll just call it because that's a name that I'm sure I've butchered. So sorry. But here you get a couple of different scenes of the different characters that you've recruited. Brother has a weakness for the ladies. Better stay here and protect him. Awesome. So Yamku being the intentional third wheel to keep his brother out of trouble. And Hicks and Tengar here. I don't remember what they're always kind of like, I don't know, they've got such a weird relationship. It feels like Tengar is like the nagging wife and Hicks is kind of the, I don't know, I guess a lot of the time he kind of feels a little, I don't know, airheaded, I guess, or clueless. Alright. So Flick and Sanchez have their little scene. And Kryn, I think Kryn's just dreaming about, treasure. Of all the people they could have given a little extra dialogue scene, they had to give it to him. He's such a dope. And here, I think this is the last one. So, Lukanen, how did I say his name? Fuken? I don't know. That's my guess. But so they're talking about young ones. Obviously, they're the. I don't know. I don't know if they're supposed to be the oldest. I guess I'm not sure of their actual ages, but I mean, Lucan or whatever his name is, his sprite certainly looks like he's an old timer. All right. Obtain the steel hatchet. Gosh, this very well might be the spot where you have to have all your characters recruited in order to get the good ending. No, I'm sorry, that can't be yet. We've got some more recruiting to do. That I do know. It has been quite a while since I actually played this, so again, got kind of procrastinated a bit on the actual commentary, unfortunately, which is kind of a common theme of mine. I think I am quite a bit behind now. I guess I'm pretty close to the end of this one, but I have all of my Suikoden 4 footage I still have to do commentary for, so that should be a joy. And I'm currently working on Suikoden 2, so again, a lot of commentary on my plate right now. For whatever reason, I decided to save here. 75 hours on this playthrough. That is crazy. That's way. I think you can actually beat this game in, probably 30-ish hours if you're not like skipping through tons of dialogue and stuff. But I did quite a bit of farming and whatnot, so. Alright, so here was Matthew's idea here was to make boats out of ice, which apparently they did with Thrash's breath. I don't know how much sense that makes, unless he must be an ice-breathing dragon or something. I don't know. That's the only sense I can make of it. All right, so here we've got the battle at the floating fortress, and I've got 18,000 troops. That's a bit better than the Imperial Army. And if you've been keeping up on your recruitment, you should have I guess the same as me. I think this is the maximum amount of troops that you can get right at this point. So obviously we are fighting Sonia Shulin. And most of you probably remember her from the very, very beginning of the game. I think she was, I guess, like Tio's love interest or something like that. So first turn I always use the Dragon Knights just because why not? You can't, I don't think you can lose any of those troops. Again, don't quote me, I could be wrong on that. And if if you've lost troops to I think the only thing the Dragon Knights are weak against is bow. So if you've lost any troops, maybe leave a comment or something, because again, it never happened to me. So Sonia's charge, just so you know, is a charge attack. So you're gonna want to use your magic. And then so here you see me after every turn I use the ninjas, figure out what they're gonna do, and respond in kind. So the next plan is bow attack. So let's use the strategist. Yep, use the strategist and buff up our charge attack. Here's the plan, and make sure you obey it. Okay. And the Knights party, I think they're the best now. Yeah, it looks like they have the best attack rating. So as long as you recruit Maximilian and Sancho, and you've got oh gosh, is it Klon? Something like that, Lon. I don't really know how to say his name, but yeah. So they make up the best attack party. All right, let's find out what they're gonna do for the last turn here. The enemy's next plan is charge attack. All right, let's use magic and finish him off. So you want to see my magic? Yes, we do, Gene. We want to see your magic. Among other things. It's a shame. Jean comes back in, I believe it's even Suikoden 2, but she's still not usable in battle. I can't remember if she's usable in Suikoden 3 or not, but in Suikoden 4 I use her all the time. She is an insane magic-based character, which is probably pretty obvious, but I really like using her in that game. She's really, really strong. So here we actually have the floating castles, I guess, I don't know, dungeon or something like that. And this place is actually, I like this place because you don't actually travel through the castle. You're kind of like in the catacombs under the castle. And, you don't have that, like, I don't know, Castle Rome feel like Moravia and what is it, Scarlatesia and Necklord's Castle. Because it kind of felt like they... I've been in enough castles already, so it was kind of nice to kind of tromp around underneath. So, all right. Taking Cleo. Stallion again. So, again, I don't know why, I don't know why I used him other than straight run speed, and still that just felt like really felt wasteful. But I guess at the end of the day, being that I took Kai with for everything, it didn't really matter because the hero Kai combo is so ridiculous anyway that, you know, it really doesn't matter that much. So there you can see my character's levels. I think I went through the dungeon first, and then I came back afterwards to farm the different drops out of here. And I'm going to bring up the drop list here really quick, just because I don't remember exactly what comes from here. I want to say there's like it's like a window set or a sound set is one of them. But let's verify here. Let's see what these guys actually drop. If I can find it in a timely manner here. Oh, so that the elite soldiers, these guys can drop the horned helmets. Those are the best helmets in the game for certain characters, like Pesmerga, and I believe Humphrey can equip them. There's obviously quite a few other characters as well, but I don't remember them right off the top of my head because I really didn't use them a whole lot. But you know, again, so those horned helmets are pretty decent. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Oh, there's actually only 3 enemies in this place. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll run into them eventually, but the sirens here drop the sound setting 3, as well as flowing runes. So if you feel like you need more flowing runes, or, you know, well, I mean, flowing runes are great. They have some of the best healing spells in the game. So if, you know, like I said, if you want more of those, you can farm here. Just kill the sirens. These elite soldiers are pretty beefy, actually. Anybody that can take the master pupil attack and live are pretty formidable opponents. And the Kerberos, I guess it's just basically another Cerberus, is the flaming, I don't know, flaming dog. This guy, here you go. These guys can drop the gold necklace, which I believe are usable by the kobolds. I'm not sure if those are the best ones in that game or not. Something tells me they should be, because it's this late in the game. I mean, we are getting, yeah, we're getting really close to the end here, so I can't imagine that there's much better. Let's see what else we have here. Mega medicine, really? Not really all that needed. All right, so siren here again. What did I say? Sound set 3. Yep, sound setting 3, as well as the flowing runes. So again, you know, if you find yourself, oh, boom, got it right there. Sound setting 3. That's pretty lucky. Well, maybe not. There's 3 of them, and it looks like it's a 2.35% drop rate. So, eh. And here's the Shell Venus. I don't remember anything special about this boss. I would guess, you know, if I had a recommendation, I'd be hit it as hard as you can. Oh, so lame. My advice is terrible. No, honestly, I just don't remember. Don't remember this guy at all. Let's see. Okay, so it looked like that was a single target attack there. I assume he's got some sort of AoE attack as well, but I'm not sure. So I guess we'll keep our eyes peeled, see if he even lives that long, because that is a ton of damage. Holy smokes. Resurrection Rune. There's the AoE, and yes, that hits hard. 200-ish to everybody is a decent amount of damage. Let's see what did I use here? Yell? No. Scream, maybe? Let's check Scream. I don't remember what the Resurrection Rune even does anymore. It's been so long since I did this. I know one of them actually resurrects your party members if they've died in combat, so that can be kind of useful. Scream looks like this is group heal. All right, so that's the level 3, I believe, spell. Which I don't know. I like the Resurrection Rune, I guess, because you have that option of, hey, you know, my character died, now I can resurrect them in combat. Like, that's cool. But the actual healing, I think, is a bit less than the Flowing Rune, or maybe it's that I think the Flowing Rune, the earlier ranks of the magic have the group healing, you know, so you can technically like kind of put it on a crummier caster and still get a lot of uses out of it in combat. But being that Cleo is, you know, pretty well versed in the magic department, she still gets a lot of casts out of Scream. So I don't know, I like it on her. I think it works just fine. Really, it should work just fine on any of your any decent caster. You know, you're not gonna get much out of it if you're sticking it on a Victor or something. Yeah. So it looks like I used up all of my judgments, so I'm back to whatever that spell is. That seems like I could have just used a regular attack and probably hit just as hard. Boom! Boom! Wow! Those crits. I like those killer runes. Gotta say it. You know, as far as the killer versus clone, gosh, I lean so much towards the killer runes because a crit is like, what, like 3 times damage, as opposed to a clone only doing twice the damage, but, you know, you thus losing a turn after. So, I don't know. As long as your character's got enough skill rating, you know, and doesn't miss too much, I think it's great. And there of course, can't use an escape a talisman. There was the Thunder Rune down there, so if that's something that you like using, you know, stick that on somebody. I like the Thunder Rune. I like the Thunder Rune really in all the games. You know, really, I tend to focus on groups, you know, and maybe that's because of the way I play, but I typically, when I build my groups, I like to build in a way that it's easy to wipe out groups of enemies without having to do much healing beforehand, and then B, you know, just that I don't have to use magic on the way there, like from, say, like a fire rune. I don't like to, you know, have to use one person with a fire rune every single random encounter on the way to a boss's dungeon, you know. I like to be set up for the boss itself and then unload all the damage there. And thus a Thunder Rune to me is more valuable than, say, a Rage Rune, you know, or the whatever you want to say, the higher level Fire Rune. So that's you know, that's the way I like to do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it a different way, but that's just typically how I like to set up. And there we had a flowing crystal drop. Got pretty lucky here. Alright, so here's Sonya. She's got something to ask us. I'm the last of the 5. Is this what you call justice? Well, right. The water is literally on fire. Is this what you want? All right. She's going to make us pay. Sonya's kind of a pushover. I wouldn't worry about her too much. Yeah, and I didn't even decide to use magic anymore with the hero anyway, just because it didn't really feel like it was a good option. I mean, it was hitting for what, 350-ish or something like that, and my regular attack was doing 200, whereas a crit could potentially do 6. So I don't know if she even does anything really fancy. I guess she hits kind of hard. I mean, I think she cracked the hero for like what, 200 on the first turn. Ooh, yeah, she hits decently hard when she does land a hit. Boom! There's the crit from the hero. Yeah, well, there you have it. I don't know if she uses any special attacks whatsoever. All she did was, just regular auto attack, I guess. Or use I don't know, attack command, excuse me. So, I mean, in all honesty, what she said actually was true. We, cited rebellion, took up arms against Tio. Like, that stuff was actually true. It's just not really not necessarily the reasons why she thought. So, all right, so we're taking Sonya prisoner here, and it's time to get out of here. Uh-oh. Matthew down. All right, so here we have the betrayal of Sanchez. He's been in the employ of the Empire for the last 7 years. Yikes. All right, so are you to blame for Odessa's death? That was the result. I won't deny it. I was in pain being with you people. I began to question myself. Ultimately, he chose to remain loyal to the Emperor. Please remember, I like you, all of you. You are immature. Oh my. Prepare to die. I would totally cut off his head too if he called me immature. No, I'm kidding. I'm probably not that petty. Even if he was right. If you kill Sanchez now and the troops find out that he was a spy, the morale of the army will plummet. We'll punish him later. Right now we must prepare. That's that's sound tactics. There's a thing called timing in warfare. If we lose the opportunity, we will never defeat the Empire. So very, lot of interesting choices, and very well written at times. Obviously Matthew brings up the fact that we don't really want to spill the beans about Sanchez, being a traitor because, that we're going to lose morale, and thus that could be a major hindrance to, obtaining our goals. So, right thing to do or not, I don't know. I guess, again, Matthew said it perfectly. It comes down to timing, and You know, much like Odessa's death, you know, really that was handled the same way. You know, we essentially waited until the time was right, and thus actually it kind of turned out really well. So here we've got dialogue between Sonya and Cleo. Obviously, Cleo being a servant of Tio for many years. And it's interesting to see the dialogue. You're someone who may have become, you know, McDowell's mother. But I can't discard my loyalty. So yeah, again, nice little exchange between those two. You know, she really kind of, I think, softens Sonya up for McDowell to come in, and obviously we want her to join us. Don't forget that I hate you. I don't mind. We got plenty of haters. So yeah, so I think that kind of sums up Sonya's you know, outlook on McDowell. You know, she kind of just wants to keep an eye on him, you know, and maybe, in all honesty, I mean, if you know, really wanted to find out the truth about somebody, what better way to do it? Granted, that would be pretty tough. I mean, really, you know, he is responsible for Tio's death, and that would be something, I assume, that she would be really, or that it would be really difficult for her to, you know, get over. So, again, that'll be pretty tough. But trying to think now if there's anybody else that we need to recruit or not. And of course, so if you actually want to do any farming here, I forgot you can't use the blinking mirror, which is a bit annoying. I don't know. That's kind of like the theme though with the blinking mirror here, is that it's not really all that useful when you really want it to be. I mean, obviously it's usable on the world map, but it definitely increased in usefulness unfortunately at Suikoden 4. It's been a while since I played Suikoden 3, so I can't remember exactly how useful it is in there. Suikoden 2 retains kind of its usefulness from this one, where I think it's only the world map, so, you know, I shouldn't downplay it, you know, so much, because it is a great item. It's just, I wish that it was, wish it was useful all the time, but it's just not. So oh well. All right, now is the time to gather our forces and attack Gregminster. Alright, apparently we are ready to march to the capital. I didn't even stop, I don't think, and save my game, which is kind of probably not that great of an idea. This is the spot. Now, I hope I don't have to eat my words here, but I'm pretty sure this is the spot where you have to have everybody recruited for the best ending. So, don't initiate that dialogue unless you're absolutely certain. Actually, don't initiate that dialogue until you've saved, for one. And then if you're absolutely certain you have recruited everyone up to this point, then talk to Matthew and initiate this dialogue. But I believe if Windy doesn't, well, I guess maybe I just won't spoil it yet. But here, Leknot, oh, whatever. When she comes here, she'll do a little explanation of, you know, her rune and Windy's rune, and kind of why she's been doing what she's been doing. Alright, together you'll be victorious. Said there were 108. Put you're mistaken, we're missing one. Yeah, and then here we say we're missing Gremio. Quiet your binds, remember your friend. Oh, 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 boom! Surprise! There's so much I want to do for Young Master. Still some laundry left to do in a new stew. Huh? What the? Ah, a new stew. I think, I don't want to spoil too much for Suikoden 2, but, the new stew makes its appearance in Suikoden 2. Alright, so, again, now, if Leknot doesn't bring Gremio back, at this point, you know, that's when you're going to want to restart and check the list again to figure out who you don't have. And thus, you know, and that is if you want to get the, in my opinion, the best ending. So, definitely worth doing. The characters are, you know, fairly easy to recruit in this game. There isn't really anybody that I would say that's, you know, all that difficult. So, I guess just find yourself a list, you know, of the different characters and get them all recruited. Victory! 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 Can't spell victory without Victor. There you go. You see it right there. Oh, I'm such a cornball. Or a Victor fanboy. I don't know. The dude's just awesome. He's awesome in Suikoden 2 as well, so. I'm trying to think of what else we gotta talk about for this one. Soon enough here we're gonna have access to the last, basically 2 areas to do random encounters in. And it's got some pretty decent stuff. So the area outside, so basically at the start of the game, the enemies change out on the field. So like the enemies around, is it Rock? You know what? I'm not gonna take a swing at that town now because I don't remember the name of it. But anyways, the area like around Gregminster and whatnot, the enemies basically get upgraded. So the stuff that was there at the beginning of the game, like the you know, the mosquitoes and the boars and whatnot, those are gone and they're replaced with this new set of enemies. And well, I'm sure that in the next video or 2 I'll have that. I'll have footage at least of me fighting a couple of those, hopefully. But you know, just to go over some of the loot there, the Ninja Master drops the Crimson Cape, which is for most of the characters the best accessory, defensive wise, that you can get in the game. And the Smurg drops a Thunder Rune, and the Orc drops basically bath items, so like graffiti, Lover's Garden, and the Beauties of Nature. I believe those are all paintings, so you know, if you've been decorating the bathhouse and want any one of those, or any one of or a combination of those, you know, that's where you can get those. So I am just going to toss a couple of people here together. I'm not sure if I ended up really doing anything with these guys or just went back to... I think actually this is the party that I set up to go back to the floating fortress just to do a little leveling and whatnot. So, anyways, I am going to cut it here. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But hope the guide has been helpful so far, and hope you join me for more videos. All right, thanks for watching.